Hey gang. Well, for this story video, I really wanted to try to record it from where it happened at. Unfortunately, the location where it's at, it's somewhere outside of town, and I have no way to get up there to record the video. But it happens at a place that everybody calls the Colony, and it's quite a ways outside of town. And since, again, it's October, this is kind of an October-related story. In fact, this did happen in October quite a few years ago. I was still living with my buddy Tyler at the time. And my buddy Reno kind of talked me into going up to the Colony to help out with their big haunted house thing they always do every year. And I heard about it, and everybody says, oh, it's the best thing in the world. You could work there, make some good money, and all this other stuff. So Reno talks me to doing it, and I go up there. And the first night I'm there, I'm thinking, like, I'm going to work with Reno. It's going to be a lot of fun, everything like that. Turns out I didn't work with Reno. I worked with this one guy who used a chainless chainsaw to scare people, and they had me dress up like Leatherface. The problem with dressing up like Leatherface was, number one, the mask was hot. I could hardly breathe in it. I was sweating like a maniac in that darn thing. The apron they had me wear cut off the circulation in my arms. It was way too tight. And the guy I was working with was pretty much a glory hog. He took all the glory. And there was actually at one point where he left me alone for a half hour in the room. And the other bad part about it was that the next room had a fog machine going. You went in there, you couldn't hardly see a thing, you couldn't hardly walk around. There was supposed to be some ghost girl in there. She tried to jump out, scare people. You could hear her coughing a lot from the next room. Sometimes the fog would seep into the room we were in, and everything like that. And at one point, when the guy was gone for a half hour, people would just walk on by, and I just waved to him and improvised, and like, hey, how's it going? Hi, I'm Leatherface, da-da-da. When he finally did show up, it was pretty much just nobody was coming through anymore, and it was late and everything like that. So we get the chance to, so after the whole thing is over with, one of the people running the whole thing tells us that if we come back, well, actually the second time this happened, the second time I got a chance to go back up there and work again, I had a chance to work with Reno and some friends in another room, and I begged Reno. I said, dude, get me out of this room. I said, I can't work with that guy. He's a glory hog. He's a jerk. I said, just get me out of that room. So he talked to the lady in charge, and she said, yeah, we'll put you in another room with Reno and everybody else. And I had a lot more fun in there. So they put me in a costume that was a lot more comfortable. And they had me sitting in this chair where I was supposed to be eating a fake heart. You know, the mask kind of looked like the Crypt Keeper, so I'm like, I'm all for that. I'm cool with that. And like I said, the costume was comfortable. I didn't sweat in the mask so much. The room was nice and cool. It was great. And Reno's supposed to be standing behind this curtain scaring people. Okay, doesn't sound like a big deal, right? Except one problem. Reno kept falling asleep behind the curtain. So one of the guys I was working with tells me about it. I go over there, I wake up, Reno, and I said, dude, what are you doing? Huh? What? Huh? Dude, you're supposed to be scaring people, supposed to be jumping out and all that. Hey man, how about this? How about we switch places? I'll go over there where you're at and sit, and I'll do the whole eating the fake heart thing, and you can just jump out at people wearing your mask. I said, that's fine, that's cool. I'll do that, sure. So I do my part, and I'm having a blast. And again, I'm just improvising every line because it's not the same old buh, you know, or anything like that. I jump out, I just say a bunch of goofy stuff, you know, like Merry Christmas and things like that. Just scare people, and I'm having fun. I'm having a blast doing this. Reno's sitting over there in the chair, you know, doing his thing, but he's getting bored. So then comes time for us to do a break. And Reno, his girlfriend at the time, another girl named April, who was with us, they said they wanted to go back to town. I said, Reno, you got to come back here, pick me up around 11 o'clock. He goes, yeah, sure, no problem. I said, all right, man. I said, be here before 11 o'clock, pick me up. Pardon me. He goes, okay. So, go back. You know, break's over with, go back. go back behind the curtain, scare people, jump out, you know, do my thing, having fun. 10:30 rolls around, it's time to quit the show. I'm like, all right, cool deal. The lady there tells us that if we show up for Halloween, which was, I think, about a week away from that time, we show up there for Halloween, so everybody participates, we'll get a little money, but the best room will get the big amount of money. You know, it's a first, second, third prize. Everybody's going to get, you know, a certain amount of money. So I'm looking around waiting for Reno to show up. No Reno. I go outside, his car's not in the parking lot. Several people offered me a ride, and I just said, no, don't worry about it. I said, I'm sure he's coming. I'm sitting there waiting around for 10 minutes waiting for him. No Reno, nobody shows up. Again, more people offered me a ride. I said, no, I said, no, I'm fine. I'm all right. I said, you know what, I'm going to start walking to town, and maybe he'll come by and pick me up and realize what's going on. Now, the drive from here to the colony, maybe 10-12 minutes tops. The walk I took from the colony back into town to Reno's house to get my backpack full of stuff, and then I'm living outside of town at the time, took about an hour. Grabbed my backpack full of stuff in Reno's car, which is still sitting at the carport of his old house. My feet are hurting, I'm tired, I'm worn out, I'm exhausted. I tell Tyler what's going on. Next day I go see Reno, and I'm about ready to tear him apart, verbally of course. And he sits there and he goes, I'm sorry, man. Car ran out of gas. I said, it had plenty of gas when we went up there. Well, you know, I got back to town, and you know, the girlfriend wanted to go do some running around, stuff like that, and riding around and everything. I said, you took your girlfriend out riding around, ran out of gas, and you couldn't come pick me up. He goes, well, she wanted to go riding around and everything, so I was like, yeah. I said, okay. So I told him all about what was going on. I said, dude, if we go up there, we can get some good money. And he seemed really all for it. But then his girlfriend wanted to go trick-or-treating. And I'm thinking, are you serious? I said, how old's your girlfriend? He goes, like 18, 19, something like that. I said, dude, we're taking your like near adult girlfriend out trick-or-treating. And April wanted to go along too. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? I said, dude, we can go back to the colony, do our thing up there, make some money, everything like that. No, she wants to go trick-or-treating. Besides, I'm still out of gas. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. So I joined Reno, his girlfriend, and April on a night of trick-or-treating, which all I wore was a Joker t-shirt. Got several people complimenting my shirt and everything like that. Reno and I scored some candy because we told people, like, oh, we're doing it for his nieces who were like infants at the time. And so yeah. So we're telling everybody we're getting candy for his nieces, which was a lie because we were getting the candy for ourselves. So yeah, so that was my one and only time I worked at the colony for Halloween, or almost Halloween, and it kind of backfired on me. So thanks, Reno, for that. but in all actuality, I caught up with some people that worked there that night about a couple of weeks later at a public event here in Boonville, and they all said the same thing. They said, dude, you're lucky you weren't there. I said, what happened? I said, it was a disaster. They said, there wasn't a lot of people who showed up there. Most people who showed up there were total jerks. We didn't make anything. There was no money to be made. There was nothing to be made. I said, so the whole thing was just a waste of time. He goes, yeah, I'd be lucky you weren't there. So I went back and apologized to Reno, told him what happened, and I said, man, glad we weren't there. He says, yeah, I'm glad too. So that's going to do it for this story. Tomorrow, of course, the Boonville versus West Fork results. Sunday, yard sale wrap-up story. Next week, who knows? Probably more silly October-like nonsense. So thanks for watching, everybody. God bless you all. If you like my videos, please feel free to subscribe. Hope you guys are having an awesome week and a better weekend. So until next time, thanks for watching. Take care. Try to be good. Try to be good yourself. Try to be good to others. And as always, stay strong and rock